Did you know that a good night's sleep will increase your ability to learn a new skill by 30%? I have noticed a pattern in our community that so many of you, while you're pursuing your passions, you're running on empty, and it's very hard to be successful when you got no juice in the tank. Sleep is one lever, but there are all kinds of other things that we can do to manage our own health and happiness. These aren't expensive products or some crazy biohack. These are things that are virtually free or really, really cheap, and they're available to you right now. The first thing that I do every day is a meditation practice. Whether you do this for 2 minutes or 22 minutes, or whether you practice transcendental meditation or you just sit here in a calm meditative state, the benefits are unequivocal, scientifically proven, and it is a huge way to take a step forward in the life that you want. Now, the temptation is to rush this or to ignore it because you're fidgety, you're busy, you want to get going in the morning. I'm telling you, this extra 2, 3, 5, 10 minutes will have a transformative effect on your day. So again, sit here, feet flat on the floor, hands on your thighs, nice posture, relaxed, and breathe. After my morning meditation, I love to get outside and move my body, just get walking. The very fact of having light pour onto our face and in our eyes, that helps reset our circadian rhythm. Also, there's this idea that flow happens while you're walking. The idea of walking after a long period of rest actually makes cortisol go back down in your body. So there's a host of other benefits aside from just being outside, hearing the birds and smelling the fresh air. All this stuff is critical to my day. No video on health and happiness would be complete without a little section on nutrition. Now, I don't want to go deep here. I'm going to make it very, very simple. I like to bucket my nutritional thinking into one of 4 modes. These are, I would not consider these diets. I would consider these ways of eating. And these are things that I have found work for me. One thing that I like to follow is what's called the slow carb program. This is outlined in great detail by my buddy Tim Ferriss. He's got it online, but also the book, The 4-Hour Body, does a great job. Essentially, this is just a lot of protein and a lot of slow carbohydrates, things like legumes and sweet potatoes, and avoids a lot of things like sugar. A second program that I like to operate on sometimes is just one where I eat 0 processed foods. That is zero, nada. Others that might work for you are keto, omnivore, the carnivore diet, or the Whole30. There's all kinds of things. I just like to keep it very, very simple. So a third one is what I call no plan. I don't like to live like this, but I do allow myself on occasion after a long stressful push or after eating super clean for a long time, the ability to let your body reset, and I call it eating like a 14-year-old. And the last thing I would talk about is the concept of intermittent fasting. I like to take this idea of just not eating for 16 hours, that it would be eating only during a window of 8 hours during my day. I take this concept of intermittent fasting and weave it into the first 2 programs, my slow carb program or my no processed foods program. I just like to keep it simple, keep it consistent, and find out what works for you. Now, I don't know if you're like me, but did the pandemic make you really aware of how you were having to change your positions throughout the day and how you physically sat either in a helpful or an unhelpful way? The idea is this: managing your physicality. This is both how we are and where we are. The how we are is the position that our body is in throughout the day. Now, the stresses in the modern workforce, whether you are like me, a photographer whose posture got damaged from holding a camera out in front of me like this for 10 or 15 years, or maybe you're a mail carrier and you have to walk 20 miles a day, or you're a designer and you're hunched over your tablet. Any and all of those things, they put your body sort of unwillingly in a position of compromise. And so it's your job, or it's our job, I feel like, to try and counteract that by being intentional with how we sit, how we hold our bodies. And the final thing that I want to talk about is measurement and accountability. Now, by measurement, I do not mean this, some crazy spreadsheet. What I am talking about is that there are a handful of super basic apps and tools that you can use to track these habits and to hold yourself accountable. One, I use a thing called the Aura Ring to track all of my data throughout the day. This tracks my activity, my heart rate, my body temperature, and it also tracks my sleep at night. The second app that I use to track my behaviors is an app called Habit List. And what Habit List allows me to do is track a series of 8 to 10 behaviors that I want to do every day. And I've set these behaviors up over the course of the last several months such that if I do all of these behaviors every day, I know that I will be happier and healthier. So again, the goal here is progress over perfection, right? Sometimes we've been feeling so crappy. We've been doing things that don't support our health and our happiness, so don't support our biology. The idea of feeling good is even foreign to us. I believe that a handful of these things that I've shared with you and things that you are probably already aware of or maybe even doing in your life, by providing a concerted effort around these things, you will be better off. Again, progress over perfection. If you fall off the wagon, all you need to do is to get right back on it. So I'm looking for comments down here. Let me know what you think. If you've got some additional ideas that you can share with the community, I'd love to see those ideas, and I believe that so many other people here would too. So message from me to you, don't be perfect, be progressing. And until next time, thanks for paying attention.